Hi guys, Chef Kevin Belton here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Now, what I'm going to make today is a mushroom garlic toast. What's nice with this is a great snack. You can use it as an appetizer. You can use it as a side if you serve a nice grilled steak or roast or whatever with it. But what else is nice is it's vegetarian. So, in my skillet, I have a little butter, and I'm going to get our butter in because I want to start sauteing off our mushrooms, okay? Now, I have portobello mushrooms. Now, gang, here's the thing about mushrooms, at least for me, okay? I got a book because I wanted to learn about mushrooms in the wild and things like that. Well, let me tell you what, long story short, I get my mushrooms at the grocery stores, at the farmer's market, just because of the fact that even with having the book, you know, you can't just go pick up a mushroom and eat it because some of them are really poisonous. And I noticed that even in the book, some that look like edible and some that are poisonous look exactly alike. So I tell you what, I just leave it to the professionals and get my mushrooms at the grocery store or at the farmer's market. Now, for this recipe, I'm going to use portobellos, okay?
Aren't those baby portobellos?
Yeah, these are the baby portobellos. We could have the big portobellos and slice those, but these were baby portobellos, and all I did was slice them. So let's get them in. Come on. And we just want to saute this for a few minutes to get them starting to cook down a little bit, okay? And you can see some other things we're going to have going in here. We have some garlic. I have some sun-dried tomatoes. I have a little red wine, some fresh basil. But look at this. This is softened butter. And here what I have some basil and I have some garlic. Now, this is why, yeah, you heard me talk about it was going to be mushroom garlic toast. Yes, you know how much we love garlic around here. So I'm just going to spread this around, just mix this up. My butter, I had it sitting out at room temperature, and I guess I could have done this with a spoon to make it a little easier, to try to just get it mixed in. But I'm going to spread this on my baguette, all right? That's why I'm using the spatula. Because what I've done, I've taken a baguette and just cut it. So if you just kind of smear that together, see? That's how it comes. I always leave butter out on the counter, so it's at room temperature because it's easy to use this way. So let's give our mushrooms a little stir. You know what's nice with mushrooms, gang? They don't take very long. I'm going to put it on a high heat. They'll cook fairly quick, all right? All right. All right, get in and look at that little piece came out. Oh man, tell you what, what's nice is it tastes really good. We'll get in a little bit of salt. Let's do a little fresh cracked black pepper. Now, let's get in some garlic. Yes, more garlic to go in with our mushrooms. Just going to give this a nice little toss. You know that garlic, as soon as it hits the pan, the aromas open up. And you notice I'm not taking too long to saute this down. I'm doing it fairly quick because once we get the wine in, that's going to add moisture and that's going to make these mushrooms cook really quick. Now, sun-dried tomatoes. A lot of times you see sun-dried tomatoes in oil. These are sun-dried tomatoes that are not in oil. We don't need that extra oil. So look for the sun-dried tomatoes that aren't in oil. And basically, I've just given them a julienne cut. Basically, you know, long skinny cut. That's a julienne cut. All right. So we get those sun-dried tomatoes in here. And you can see why we don't want it in oil. Because once it starts cooking, that oil would heat up and then the dish would just be kind of greasy, okay? So, now let's go ahead. Little red wine. We'll get a little more basil in here. All right. We're going to save some toward the end. And now I just want this to kind of cook down and reduce, okay? Now, while this is reducing, oh man, this smells so good. This is gonna reduce a little more. With our bread, you can see I've taken our baguette and I've just cut our baguette in half and opened it up. And now it's just a matter of fact of smearing our butter and basil mixture and garlic mixture right onto the baguette, okay? So I'm gonna get this done, and then this will be ready to stick under the broiler. Our bread's all buttered. Our mushrooms have cooked down, okay? Look at our bread here with the garlic and the basil. And oh man, I tell you what, the other thing I like to do, I'm gonna just take a tiny bit of salt, bare little bit of salt, and just sprinkle right on top of this butter and garlic with the basil. I find it just adds a little tiny bit of flavor. Now, here, remember, we season this with a little salt and fresh black pepper. Now, our fire is out, but here, I just have slices of mozzarella. And I'm just gonna lay this mozzarella all around. And now I'm gonna put this in the oven. Notice I have my broiler on, and I have it set on high. I have my rack about 4 or 5 inches from the broiler. Okay, we're gonna put them in at the same time. And you know, it's also important when you do a dish like this, use a skillet that can go in the oven. So you don't want something that maybe has a plastic handle because it'll melt. So make sure you have a pan that could go in the oven with it. And here, our bread and our mushrooms can go in at the same time. Oh, this is so good. So let's get these broiled for just about 5 minutes. All right, there we go. So that's gonna broil 3 to 5 minutes. I can't wait to show you how it's gonna look. Now guys, you know I like to clean as I go, but you do have to check on this. You can't leave it alone. You have to peek at it because this does not take long at all. Look at our bread. Because it was under that broiler, it got ready so quick. So here, let's take a little piece of the bread. Oh yeah, put that there. Here, let's get a couple pieces of bread. Put it there. Now, we can take some of our mushrooms and tomatoes. Just spoon that right on top of the bread. Look at that mushroom hanging off that cheese. Just kind of gets there. That's what's nice with this. You can lay it on there, put some extra mushrooms on. Now, hey, let's take a little basil. Put a little more fresh basil on here. A little bit of green onion. All right, and notice I'm taking my handle and putting it there. In a commercial kitchen, if you ever see a pot that has flour on the handle, that means it's hot. That's to let someone else know, hey, that pan just came out of the oven, don't touch that handle. So at home, stick your mitt on it. That way, everybody knows not to grab it because it was in the oven. But I tell you what, gang, I think you should try this dish. Look how good this looks. It looks so great. Remember, we use baby portobello mushrooms, but try this with an oyster mushroom. Try this with a shiitake, cremini, any mushroom that you like, all right? So try this. Man, I can't wait to take a bite of that. That looks so good. Keep being safe. Keep washing those hands, masking up. We just got a little bit more to go. Thank you for cooking with me today. For WWL, I'm Chef Kevin Belton, and we'll see you soon.